Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. This week, I've hosted shows in D.C., Boston, and New York.
Tony Kornheiser. Someone sounds obsessed with I-95. I-95.
Yeah, well, I'm just kind of stuck out here now. You know, I could come back to I-94, but, you know, the Bucks are gone. The Bulls didn't make it. The Pistons are gone. So I'm here. You know, I'm the next best place.
I think next week you should just do a show from Philadelphia and then a show from Baltimore. You cover the entire waterfront that way. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. Today's episode, the Cavs and Celtics need wins. The Golden Knights are upset about a trip. And Rafael Devers wants no part of playing first base for the Red Sox. But we begin today with Minnesota crushing Golden State by 24 points last night, 193. Anthony Edwards shook off an ankle injury in the first half, played the second, and finished with 20 points. Steve Kerr set a playoff coaching record by playing 14 players in the first half, trying to find combinations that would work with Steph Curry out. Wilbon, do you see this loss for the Warriors as dispiriting or constructive?
Tony, neither. I see it as the reality of last night. It was a foregone conclusion that that game was going to go that way, and anything else would have been surprising. And I think that what was really interesting was Steve Kerr trying to, yes, he was searching, to use our dear friend Brian Windhorst's word from this morning, to find the combinations of people that might be able to produce some kind of offense in the absence of Steph Curry. And the fall off is like off a cliff from when Steph Curry's on the floor offensively for Golden State and when he's not. And so Kerr's trying to find that. And you know what he's got? He's got until this weekend when he needs to find it, like tomorrow, because they need to win one of the next two games at home. The Warriors need to win one of those. So they were going to get beat last night. They got it to 7 a couple of times in the third, and I was like, whoa, this is pretty encouraging. That was. But then the game finished. Minnesota finished the game as the Timberwolves should finish in that situation. No Steph Curry. No team in the league, you can include Minnesota, is going to really go through the playoffs without its best player at this point. It's not going to happen, nor for Golden State.
Yeah.
They got to get Curry back. If they can get him back for Game 6, but they got to win one to extend. So Kerr and the whole team searching for what to do until then.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you almost right down the line. I don't find it dispiriting at all for the same reasons. Everybody in the world knew that Minnesota was going to win that game. I sat on this set yesterday. I told you that Minnesota was going to drum Golden State.
Yes, you did.
So if anything, if these are my choices, I do find it constructive in the sense that Steve Kerr is out there, as you say, looking for some way and some people that he can depend on, that he can hold on to. But it's only theoretically constructive because it's really an exercise in limitations. No one person can replace Steph Curry. No combination on that team can replace Steph Curry. I want to point something out. The one thing you didn't say that I will say here is I'm a little bit surprised that nobody had ever played 14 players before, though in a half, that's probably unreasonable.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr would have played 24 players if they let him sign 10 more players at halftime. What people need to understand is this is coaching 101, and Steve Kerr knows what he's doing. He did not play those 14 players for last night's game. He played those 14 players for the next game. Right. He's trying to figure out the next game because he's got to win one at home to keep his head above water to keep the series going.
Tony, do. I will disagree with you just a little bit. Jimmy Butler has, and I think still can, load up for a game or a game and a half. Jimmy Butler, he may not be able to get you 50 right now, but he can get you 40 to 45, and he may need to do it either tomorrow or Monday in San Francisco. Let's see. And then the others can support him. But Jimmy Butler's done that before. Let's see if, man, I'd love to see if he has it in him. In the Eastern Conference, both the Cavaliers and the Celtics entered their Game 3s on the road down 0-2. Injured Cavaliers, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter all participated in shoot-around this morning and are aiming to play tonight in Naptown. Meanwhile, Celtics star Jason Tatum says he needs to be a lot better in tomorrow afternoon's matchup with the Knickerbockers. Tony, do you have more confidence in the Cavaliers or in the Celtics coming back to win their series?
I have more confidence in the Celtics, and I have that because of their road record. They had the best road record in the NBA this year. They were 33-8 on the road. They were 2-0 in Madison Square Garden. And over the last 4 playoff seasons, they have a fantastic road record, Mike. In the last 4 playoff seasons, just in playoff games, they are 22-9 on the road. That's better than they are at home, where they're 23-16. They are plus 13 on the road. In that same period of time, the next best team is plus 3 on the road. So I have more confidence in them. Cleveland has injury issues. As you said, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, DeAndre Hunter are all affected here. Didn't play in Game 2. There's this optimism, obviously, that they're going to play in Game 3. But to what degree are they going to play? They contributed 53 points a game to Cleveland. If they give Cleveland 53 points, Cleveland is going to win that game. But is that a realistic number? It doesn't seem so to me.
Yeah, Tony, I agree with you right down the line here. And Cleveland, Tony, we always see teams when you introduce one really good player who needs the ball, it's difficult to do it that first game. And Cleveland doesn't have that many cracks at this, down 2-0 already on the road in Indianapolis. Yeah. So I'm with you there, even though, yes, you want Garland and you want Hunter. Yes, you want those guys back, Mobley. But I'm with you. Look, the Celtics, not only, Tony, is their road record impressive over recent playoffs, but also the fact is that even though I think they behave like a cult with this, obsession with three-point shooting, fact is, if they get hot enough in a quarter to make 2 more shots in each of the games they lost, they wouldn't have lost them.
They win.
That's right.
If
they shoot 27% from 3 instead of 25%, they win. And you got to think they're going to drop some threes. But, Tony, the Knicks haven't had a great game yet either. Not a great game. They've had great closeouts, but not a great game.
What concerns me is there was a report today that at a film session yesterday, the Celtics coaches and players agreed to keep shooting. If they had an open shot, keep shooting. That means they're doubling down on the three. And to this point, they're 25 out of 100 on the three. So when you and I talk about a plan B, it doesn't appear that a plan B is in their minds at the moment.
No.
It doesn't seem to be. All right. As always, we move to hockey for our third story. Both Washington and Edmonton won last night. The Capitals won in regulation to even their series with Carolina at 1-1. The Oilers won in overtime to take a 2-0 lead over Las Vegas. But an apparent tripping penalty on Edmonton was not called in overtime. And in the very next sequence, the Oilers scored and won the game. Wilbon, do the Golden Knights have real beef about the missed tripping call?
No. I wasn't sure it was a trip anyway, and I was watching this live at 1:20 a.m. Eastern time here in my hotel room in New York City. No.